Well, welcome back to the virtual Bournemouth Air Festival, and I hope you're really enjoying yourselves, and keep those photographs and tweets and messages coming in, and we'll get back to you right through the course of the next few days as well. One of the things we've been reinforcing throughout the afternoon is the team elements, not just to military life and camaraderie and all the roles that you've seen here today, but also running the festival itself. Absolutely key. Now, key to that, of course, is your safety. As a member of the public, when you come to these massive events, it's absolutely imperative that all the managers make sure that you have a thoroughly good day out. Well, just to give you a very short insight, and we could go on for a long time about this, but we won't. I'm joined now by three gentlemen who are absolutely at the centre of the management of the Bournemouth Air Festival. We have Bryan Duffy from Dorset Police, Des Young from South West Ambulance, and Andy Downton from Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service. Now, Bryan, if I could start with you first of all. I'm guessing you're in an organisation we hear about, something called Silver. Perhaps you could just give us a flavour for how you bring and how this team comes together to manage safety at the Air Festival.
Okay, thank you. So as the Silver Commander for Dorset Police, I have a number of different responsibilities. One of those is the Safety Advisory Group, or the SAG as it's normally known. Those will start at various fixed points throughout the year to plan, understanding what is going on, effectively starting that with a debrief, if you like, of the previous year's events, things to improve upon and what we do there. That all looks at some of the risk, the intelligence that we know about, some of the things that we need to be concerned or not concerned about at different air festivals. Obviously that changed significantly after the 2016 Nice terror attack, and what we have to do about protecting people in crowded places. That's one of our big focuses. So at the Safety Advisory Groups, we'll join people like Des and Andy, the BCP and a lot of other agencies, come to those to all chip in their part about what's important for them, what they can bring, what we're looking to deal with, and the contingency plans that go alongside that. So those are those. We try to hammer those home at tabletop exercises to make sure that everybody understands what could go wrong or right and how we respond to those. And that's where Silver really sits in terms of overseeing all of that and the tactical plans and responses.
So you would engage with people like David Wharton, who we interviewed earlier on, the Flying Display Director.
Absolutely.
And of course the event organisers themselves, who are running other things around and outside of the event itself.
Yep, absolutely. Working closely with Des and the other Blue Lights, John Weaver, that I've seen you've had on the sofa already. So working together with them at that level about simply planning this almost to within an inch of its life, so the public are absolutely reassured how safe they are and what we can do about it.
Well, planning is everything. Des, if I can turn to you then, what sort of events do you plan for, and how much energy and commitment and people goes into setting up what you need? Because I presume you have to expect the worst, which means probably building a small hospital. I don't know. Tell us about it.
Yes, indeed. We obviously work alongside Bournemouth and Christchurch Poole Borough Council. We deliver first aid and ambulance cover and paramedic cover. We have 4 first aid units for the air show and a comprehensive fleet of frontline ambulances to deal with any emergency, from someone who's cut themselves, slip, trips and falls, for someone who's having a stroke or even a heart attack.
Well, very demanding stuff, and clearly it wouldn't have ever been possible to do something over the last 6 months or so, but I'm hopeful, and our congratulations to all of you, all 3 services. You've done so much this year, but let's hope we can see a bit more fun coming back. But turning to the fire service, you know, it's always the unexpected again for you guys, isn't it? And you could probably do without an event of this size. Just what sort of demands are placed on the fire and rescue service throughout an air festival?
Both as Bryan and Des have already said, there's a huge amount of planning that goes into this. It's a case of, along with BCP, we sit down, we analyse things, we look at every sort of eventuality. But then on the day, it's about engaging with people. It's about checking they're going to do what they've said they're going to do. It's about really just providing that safe environment for everybody. There's 2 parts of the event. There's the operational side, which everybody would be familiar with, and that would be response, whereas the fire safety element is about ensuring that event is as safe as it possibly can be.
Absolutely right, and as I say, congratulations on doing a fantastic job this year already without any events going on. I'm just curious to know, have you all become quite good mates as a result of doing these events here? you've probably got to know each other very well.
Well, Des and I certainly, I think, have been doing the air show together, but also events outside of Bournemouth regularly. Well, certainly for the police, the Silver Command looks after lots of different events, so you get a cadre of commanders that look after those, so the planning and the routine and the expectation is the same. So therefore, that's repeated throughout the Blue Light service. So over time, you do get to recognise some of the good people and the relationships build from that.
Now, I'd hate to focus on any former disasters, but the Bournemouth Air Festival over the years has had an incredible series of occurrences. You know, the flooding in 2011. But I seem to recall we had a bomb on the beach one year. Were any of you involved in that? Because that was dealt with extremely well, with basically almost a sort of covert manoeuvre to blow it up whilst the fireworks were going on. Perhaps you weren't involved with that. But of course, then there was the firework explosion. It didn't affect anybody, by the way. None of these events did, so it was all extremely well done. But very difficult. You mentioned this thing called the tabletop. Now, I've been involved. I also work as a display director myself at various other events. It's pretty impossible to practice for all eventualities, isn't it? We put you on the spot, Bryan. And Andy, how do you plan for the unexpected?
I think, even the tabletop day, it's the unexpected. Nobody knows what's coming along, so it just tests everybody to the limit. The numbers of people that are involved actually in that tabletop as well. I think last year it was somewhere in the region of 100, just over 100 people. So, but the scenarios are real. They do test us to the limit, and like I say, that's not scripted.
Yeah, very much so. Well, one of the other things I want to commend is actually the patience that all your people show during the course of what is a very, very demanding event to manage for everybody in the town. I've just got to touch on the social side. Have you got some memorable moments or experiences that you might just want to share with our viewers today? I bet you, Des.
Well, I wouldn't say funny, because lots of our work is about helping people and making sure that they stay safe. And if they become unwell, we try and encourage them to get better and obviously deliver a medical provision. So no funny stories, but it is great fun at Bournemouth Air Festival. We're gutted that it's not on this year, and we look forward to next year.
Andy?
As with Des, I'm gutted it's not on this year at all. For me, last air show was my first air show in the fire safety role. So the memorable moment I've got is really more of a personal one. A young family member of mine asked me if whilst I was at the show, would I film the red arrows? And yeah, no problem. I can handle technology. So I set myself up, and in true fashion, the red arrows came in, and I was on the camera, filming away, following them all around the sky, doing what I thought was a perfect job until I stopped and rewound, played the video, and found out it was on selfie mode.
Brilliant stuff. And let's finish with you, Bryan. You probably bear the brunt of people's complaints and irritations. Well, your staff do on the streets. But there's always seems to be a smile on the face of your policemen.
There certainly is, although most of them, certainly in the last couple of years, have always been sweltering hot. So we try to look after them in that respect. My one memorable moment is not so much the drama, but perhaps drama we prevented. So a lot of what we do is trying to stop things happening and become memorable for the wrong reasons. We had a situation where we discovered that items such as this, which is only a stress buster, it's only that, but its appearance in the wrong eyes might have created some sort of alert or panic. And the efforts that we had to go to try and round these up and stop them being issued in all good nature and good fun created some sort of laughter for us when we thought about who wondered whether or not this would be a good idea at an air show.
Well, there we are. So that is how your safety is assured during the course of an air festival. And it's these guys who've already this year delivered a huge amount to protect the British public. And we offer our grateful thanks for all that they have done and what they're going to do when we bring you the Bournemouth Air Festival 2021.